Hello, this is a Meals of the Week video. I'm going to show you all the things that I've been cooking recently to feed my family of 4. Things are generally gluten-free, just that's how we roll around here. But first I have a problem, and her name is Rosie. Rosie is a chicken. Rosie has never met a man, and despite all of those things, she thinks she's broody. There's the offending chicken. You have had so many treats today, ladies. I'm not even entertaining it. No. This is Carly. This is Jane. Jane hasn't laid in 2 days. I don't think she's egg bound. She just didn't lay that often, which is fine. But you, madam, have been plucking your chest bare. Yeah. They're still getting used to us, really. These are rescue hens, if you've never seen them before. And she has been sitting on eggs, despite the fact that eggs are not going to hatch. So, a quick chicken update. They are all now laying pretty much every day, which is amazing. This is a pretty standard size egg, normal chicken egg. Now, Jane is the smallest of the rescue chickens, and she doesn't tend to lay every day. She's more of an every other day sort of lady. And frankly, I understand why, because... Oh, Jane. I have repurposed my cold frame as a pepper house. So hopefully something will come of that. The first meal was super quick and easy. Remember how I did those slow cooker dump and go bags a little while ago in another video? This is the Hawaiian meatballs. I didn't have time to do it in the slow cooker because I forgot. So I did it in my Instant Pot instead. And that's just a cornstarch slurry going in there. And very tasty it was too. So you just add it in whilst it's set to saute. So it's been cooking under pressure, I should say, and then it is depressurized. It is now good to go. And I'm just mixing that in whilst the bottom of the pot is very, very hot, and it will thicken up like a lovely sticky sweet and sour sauce. Now I do use this for leftovers as well. There's more than enough for the 4 of us, plus a couple of work lunches in there. And we just had it with some steamed rice and some peas. And very, very tasty it was too. Definitely a family favourite. You should try it if you haven't already. The next night was even easier because I just pulled out a beef Thai curry and I made more rice, and I made leftover rice, which we'll come back to. For the next day, I thought I'd do something a little bit more exciting. I had some veggies, that's some homegrown courgette, a random tomato I found in the bottom of the fridge, and I'm just frying all of those off. We're going to get everything nice and softened up. I'm basically doing a veggie pasta sauce with some cooked chicken that I found in my freezer. Using up things from the freezer is definitely a theme. I'm trying to empty the freezer in July. If you want to empty your freezer in July and join the challenge, you should do that. So there's the cooked chicken I grabbed, and that is half a jar of tomato sauce from, I think, Aldi, that was also in my freezer. So many things leaving my freezer that day. Dumping everything in, but that sauce is not the best. I normally use it as pizza base, basically, so I added in some extra tomato puree, some extra seasonings. There's some garlic gone in there. That's some of the pasta water I'm adding in there. It helps the pasta stick better, or the sauce stick better to the pasta, I should say. I do love that vintage enamel pot. I found it at the dump shop. Very nice it is too. That's some gluten-free pasta going in there, and it was just a nice, quick, simple, easy dinner. And of course we did have some cheese on top of it. Of course we did, because I have toddlers. Right, it's lunchtime. There's only Ed and I here. The girls are in nursery. We decided to take some time to just get through some much needed house chores. So I'm making a firm favourite in our house, egg fried rice. I've got leftover rice from dinner yesterday, and all I'm doing is putting some gluten-free soy sauce on it. And this is a bit of an eat-up tea, or lunch I should say. We're just using up stuff that's fallen out of the fridge, leftovers and whatnot. So you can use whatever you have to hand. The premise is cold rice. If you don't use cold rice, it won't crisp up nicely. It'll go sort of like a mushy rice paste when you're making your stir-fried rice. And whilst that's absorbing the soy sauce, I'm going to get this pan very hot. The bottom fell off my wok. The sort of connected it that does the induction hob, which is very annoying, so I don't have a wok at the moment. But that's not the end of the world. We shall use what we have. Get that nice and hot. Let's go into my pan. I have 2 rashers of bacon that desperately needed using up. I've got some red cabbage, which I'm fully aware is going to make my rice a funny colour, and I'm okay with that. It doesn't bother me, and my husband is colourblind, so he won't complain. Got some leftover broccoli from dinner last night, a bit more of that, and I've got some homegrown garlic. We'll get that sizzling. Now I'm going to add my rice. Don't move your rice around too much, let it get crispy and stick to the bottom of it. I'm going to add some ginger. If I have fresh, I would use fresh, but I don't. A little bit of vinegar. Sesame oil. We like a lot of sesame oil. Okay, careful with keeping that. Right, it is dinner time. I'm making a quiche. Why? Because I have some shop bought eggs left to use up, as well as our own eggs. So I'm going to start off by making my pastry in the food processor. This will be a gluten-free pastry. You can make a normal one. You know, depends what you need. But I hate touching flour, so I'm making it my way using the food processor. That is 200 grams of a gluten-free blend of plain flour, or the equivalent to plain flour. Get off the top there. I've also into that put half a teaspoon of xanthan gum, which stops everything from crumbling apart, and I'm going to add just a little bit of salt so it's not terribly bland. And this is 100 grams of butter. If it looks a bit crumbly and weird, it's because this is butter I made myself, not on purpose. I froze a big thing of double cream, and when I went to defrost it and mix it back up again, lo and behold, I had butter. These things happen. And all I'm going to do is pulse it until it becomes a bit sandy, like a cross between breadcrumbs and sand. If I pull this bit out here, I can pour liquid directly in, and I want 8 to 9 tablespoons of water to make it come together as a dough. So I'm gonna set this off spinning and slowly add as much water as is required. I think I'm only gonna need 8. Why? Because it is so humid here today that, I mean, everything is just claggy and horrible. My hair is a little light. Okay, I was right. That was actually only 7.5, and I've already made it a little bit too wet, but that's fine because I have been making gluten-free stuff for 20 years and I have never, ever been able to successfully roll out pastry. Just can't do it. It says more about me than it does the pastry, but what I do instead is Franken pastry. You get your pastry, you get your thing. I've greased it up. What did I use to grease it up? This. Not something I ever buy, but my mum had several and shoved 2 in my suitcase. And I'm just gonna, yeah, this way. We're gonna Franken pastry it. What I'm going to do now is pop it in the oven, which I have preheating at 180 degrees, to blind bake, so that it's most of the way baked when I put my egg mixture in. So stand by, caller, and we'll come back when that is done. Right, now I need to go and see if we have any more eggs. I need to pick some strawberries. I really need to pick some strawberries looking at those. Other things I should do with my life. I'll put the hose away. Oh look, cucumbers! Yes, and then I want some chives. Try not to show you the compost heap because yum, rotting stuff. Hello! How are you ladies? I cannot tell you how many treats you've had off me today. You are having no more. None. I'm cutting you off. No egg. Only 2 today. I'm joking. It's fine. Right, chives. Let's get to those. There's a mess. Chard's coming on. And chives. Here we go. Look at those. Glorious. I'm going to pull that and that because they are weeds. And you, sir, go away. And can't do it one-handed though. Right, into our quiche today we are going to be putting the chives, some salt and pepper, must refill my salt grinder, some grated cheese, some ham that I shoved in the freezer desperately before I went on holiday and now needs using up, and some shop bought eggs and normal eggs and some milk. So I'm going to put all of that together in here whilst my pie crust breaks, and we'll go from there. Pie crust. It is by no means fully baked, but it will have to bake for a good while longer yet. And this is what I mean by Franken pastry. I've just sort of pressed it in there. So it's not pretty, but it's functional. Like me.
Have you Franken pastry?
I have Franken pastry, yes. Oh, crikey. I've also been very ambitious with my filling. This is absolutely not going to make it to the oven intact. Ugh. It'll be fine. Okay, the quiche is still cooking, but this is a good example of, look, you have the oven on, there are 2 shells in the oven, don't waste one. These are the eggshells from our chickens. What I've done is I have baked them. You can see they're getting a little toasty roasty around the edges. They were washed before they went in there, and I will grind them up. Once I have ground them up, I have this eggshell powder. I will either feed this back to my chickens so they have plenty of calcium, or put it in my compost, spread it around plants, use it in the garden. Nothing goes to waste, and I'm not wasting energy doing it because the oven was on already. There we go, quiche. I'll knock up a wee salad to go with it, and that'll be us. And for the last one, I made lasagna. We had a couple of packets of mince that desperately needed using up in the freezer. They were, of course, yellow sticker mince, so it was another 2 packets out, and I softened up some onions, some carrots, used a big jar of passata, I believe that is. Very fancy for me, not my usual tins of chopped tomatoes. I'm bulking everything up with lentils to make it stretch a bit further, adding a wee bit of extra water to it as well. And in there I'm also adding some of my own homemade veggie stock powder, some salt, pepper, lots of those things, Italian seasoning. Let everything just simmer for about 15 minutes whilst everything comes to. I made a sort of cheesy sauce. I didn't have any ricotta in. So yeah, it's not authentic. I'm sorry, Davide. Davide is one of Ed's colleagues whom he loves dearly, but he does like to wind up with the fact that I repeatedly ruin his nation's favourite dishes. So there's some cheesy sauce going on between the layers. That's gluten-free pasta. It says to cook before using it, but I have never done that, and I've never suffered any ill effects. It softens up and the pasta sheets cook just fine in the oven without doing that. If you're worried about it, I suppose you could cook it beforehand, but I can just see that being a logistical nightmare, and life is short and I don't want to. So there's extra sauce going on top. Lots of cheese, of course. Yes, I am making 2. And yes, we did eat it for the next 1,000 years. So, yeah, and very pleasant it was too. to go along with that, I thought I'd make some garlic bread. Again, yellow sticker stuff. I've got some gluten-free Warburton Thins from the freezer, and this is the sum total of my garlic harvest for 2025. I planted it too late, it didn't split, the bulbs were tiny, and they were just like one massive clove. They didn't split at all. But it still tasted garlic, still fine. So look at me, mincing my garlic, professional. Yeah, I've melted some butter in the microwave in a ramekin, and I will just bob that all in there. And then I will have an epic battle to get these slightly frozen buns in halves so that I can then liberally apply garlic butter to them and then put them in the air fryer. See, I won the battle. More Italian seasoning going over the top, and I just put those in the air fryer for about 3 minutes, something like that. And it was very, very tasty. We very much enjoyed it, which is a good thing because we've been eating that lasagna for the last 3 days. It's always better the second day anyway. So there you go, lasagna. Thanks for watching. Take care. Bye.